tank chair here. Just showing you guys what I use for weights out at the jetty. So I use this Bullet Weights soft lead coil, coiled up lead. It's in the 3/16 size. It's like a pound. Usually runs about 10 bucks. Anyways, I straighten this out because it's super soft. And then I take it and I cut it into 3-inch pieces, like so. That's about a 1/2 ounce. And then I take it and I hammer it just on the end a little bit, stick a nail through it, make a hole going all the way through, and that's what I use for my drop shot setup out there at the jetty. So it goes through the rock super easy. You get less snags. It's super soft, so even these corners kind of just rub off, and they'll kind of wear off if you get stuck on a barnacle or whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm using, and then I'll show you guys the rest of the setup coming up. Special thanks goes out to Doc King. He's got a YouTube channel. I saw him using this stuff, and I've been a better fisher since I've been using it out there. Less snags, and I think they just don't see it as much as a big bulky weight. Also guys, I would encourage you to use these methods that you're seeing, because I see a lot of questions on Humboldt Surf and Jetty about how to fish out there, and I found this way to be super good. I sometimes have days of 30-40 fish, and I'll show you the rest of the setup in a second. And there you go. There's a bunch of drop shot weights, 1/2 ounce, about 10 bucks. Maybe got 30, somewhere around there. It should last you a day or two, maybe, if you're good out at the jetty. All right, folks, hope that helps. All right, YouTuber noobers, this is the setup. So I got a medium light steelhead rod. Got a pretty long butt on it. It's a gloomis IMX. A little costly, but it's amazing. And I got a Supreme XT. I think it's a size, what size is this? 25, maybe 30 on there. It's a 9.5 foot rod. And then here's, I got it on a 20-pound Power Pro braid. It's my main line. And then I got that tied to a leader that's about 15 to 17 pound leader. You don't need any more than maybe 5-6 feet. And then I tie a dropper loop. Tie this dropper loop right here with my size 2 hook. And I just thread a little grub or a little swim bait, 3-inch, something that looks like something that's swimming out there. Usually something with white and blue sparkle, a little bit of gray, so it has a contrast out there. Does really well. I also have another grub that's white with just bright blue-green sparkle with a clear top that does super well. But I just take the grub, take the hook, shove it in, kind of thread it on there as good as you can, straight down the back for all the noobs, and come out, try to come out even out the back, and then pull the nose up and over the hook like that, So you have your hook buried in there just a little bit, coming out of the back, and that's on a dropper loop, maybe 16 inches to my dropper weight that you guys just saw me make, 1/2 ounce, and that's it. And I'll show you the rest when I get out there, how I fish it, and that'll be next. I forgot to show you one more detail about the setup for my hook. It's not any special hook, it's just an Eagle Claw value pack, but bait keeper, size 2, with the little barbs on there to hold your grub on there or whatever. But see how that eyelet is straight? The shank right here coming out straight. So when it sits on your dropper loop, it's just like a drop shot you use for bass fishing. You want it straight so it's not dangling off to the side or all whacked out. That helps it be a little more straight when you pull it through the water, jig it through the water. Pretty important. You could get the ones with the bent eye. They either bend in or bend down, but it's just a little harder to use, and then it makes the nose of your bait not look so natural. So that's another pro tip for you guys. All right. So I just want to let you guys know that that setup is for rockfish mainly, not super huge. I mean, you can catch pretty good ones. I've caught up to about 4-pound rockfish on that setup. Here's another setup. You could set that setup also on a bigger rod with bigger line with a drop, for going like bigger fish, maybe out in the ocean, or for the lingcod. But this rod here, I'm gonna show you guys. This is a Mojo inshore St Croix, 7.5 medium heavy. It's got 30-pound braid on to a, I believe, a 20-pound leader, maybe only 3 feet. And I'm just gonna go out there and try this. I think it's like a 4.8 swim bait. It's either Bass Pro or Strike King or Kitech, one of the 3. And then I just put a little hook on there, a little worm hook. This one's got a peg on it. I don't know if you can see that little peg. It's kind of thick so it doesn't slide. And I believe this is only like a size 4, just so you could keep it weedless out there on the jetty, so you get snagged up less. So you just come up through the bait, and then I like to just bury it back into the bait, and then when the fish hits, you got to set the hook pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna use this. It's got a 3/4 ounce slide on it, just a egg sinker that I pegged. I pegged it with a shiskabob, wooden shiskabob skewer, because a regular toothpick wouldn't fit in there. Excuse me, I got water all over my face. That way it's pegged and it doesn't slide around and mess up your knot. But I'm gonna try this out there too. I'll show you how I use that out there as well. This is another setup I'm gonna use out there. I'm believing it's gonna work. Just gotta believe. And it's weedless, so it should stay out of the snags a little bit more. All right, I got another setup too. I'll show you guys. All right, this is my last setup that I pretty much do pretty good with any one of the 3 that I use. But this is my hammerbomb setup. It's on a Shimano curado 7.6 heavy action. So it's rated 1/2 ounce to 1.5 ounces, which is a little light for this hammerbomb, but it helps it wing it out there a little better. So I got 20-pound mainline Power Pro braid, and it ties right to the swivel of the hammerbomb. This is a 2-ounce hammerbomb. It's the one I always rave about, that I use out there for the tides out there that are only about 2 to 3 feet fluctuation. 4, you gotta wait a little longer for it to get down far enough to where you can pump it and get those fish to bite it without it coming up too fast to the surface. So then I got 17-pound test Vanish line. It's just a fluorocarbon line that I use, keeps it invisible out there. I got that same size 2 eagle claw hook with like a 3 or 4 inch white grub, and that's it. And I think my leader's about maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet from the hammerbomb. And so what I believe happens with this hammerbomb is, because it's fluorescent green, I don't know, but they come in white, black, orange. They're kind of getting hard to get now, but I think it's kind of acts like a flasher and gets the rockfish's attention. And I use this setup especially when the rockfish seem like they're more suspended. They're not on the bottom close to the rocks, they're a little more suspended, maybe chasing bait fish. This thing shines then, especially when there's no eelgrass floating in and out. So that's what I use out there for the rockfish. Done really well. You could see my earlier videos on YouTube. You could check those out and see how these work. But that's my 3rd setup that I use out there, and I do pretty well. So if you guys want to try these setups and put them to the test, I'll do my next video. We're going out to the Jetty tomorrow, so I'm going to use these and try to explain how I use all these 3 setups. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll get to all 3, but I'm going to do South Jetty first and then North Jetty. This one doesn't work as well at North Jetty because I can't get close enough to the water to use it. But South Jetty's a little bit closer, and I mean, I could try it. Depends on the tide, how high it is. But you need to get this hammerbomb down far enough. I count it down like 15 to 20, sometimes 30. It's a slow sink, kind of a neutral buoyant, and slow sink. So you want to cast it way up the current, so as it comes across you, by the time it gets to in front of you where you think the fish are hanging out, you want to start pumping this thing back. Just short little pumps while you're reeling. I'll show you all that, and usually the fish will come and just hammer it and you'll feel it. But I hope these tips help you guys. I hope to see you guys out there, and I could show you a couple things, or you could show me a couple things. And all right, tight lines. See you out there. Take care.